Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission.
Week 6 of the local high school football season around the Sac Joaquin section. We have reached the halfway mark of league play, and that includes the Delta League. Access Sacramento is positioned tonight for the Hometown Sports Game of the Week in Elk Grove at Cosumnes Oaks High School as the Monterey Trail Mustangs visit to take on their crosstown rival, the Franklin High Wildcats. Good evening and welcome to Wildcat Stadium here on the campus of Cosumnes Oaks High School, along with the Imperator of Analysis, Hall of Famer Jim Domino. I'm Will James. We welcome you aboard, and we have quite a provocative matchup in this Delta League that's rapidly developing into a serious race.
Well, it certainly is here. We know every year the Delta, year in, year out, has to go really week by week, and this is monumental. Both these teams coming here 1-1, and you know, every game is a must-win.
Okay, let's take a look at the last meeting between these two. What a squeaker it was. It was played a year ago at Monterey Trail, and you can see there by the graphic what a tight one that was, Jim.
It certainly was. Monterey Trail here, Lopez scored a couple of touchdowns leading them, and despite Lampley's heroics, they stopped the 5-game losing streak to the Wildcats to the tune of 28-26.
Now, the last outings for these two squads, contrasting results. The visitors coming in with momentum, while Mike Johnson's Cats suffered their first setback.
Well, Monterey Trail had a relatively easy victory over Pleasant Grove, as you see, 49-28. Meanwhile, Sheldon had a tough victory over Franklin, and in the last minute when the Wildcats held a slight lead, only to lose it in the closing seconds, and really a thriller, 28-24.
With every week in the Delta being of critical importance, the impact players must come up tonight. And for visiting Monterey Trail, the Mustangs messengers are on the spot.
Well, let's start with their veteran tackle, Wayne Dorian. Has 34 tackles this year, two-way starter, great blocker up front. Zach Laurier, their quarterback and one of their leaders, also will play defense tonight. Sam Williams at running back and defensive back. Atzlon Lopez, number 30, you'll see him carry the ball as well as play linebacker tonight, and he's a good one.
On the flip side, Mike Johnson's Wildcats will counter with the Wiley Wildcats here at home.
Well, the Wiley Wildcats are led by Jalen Lampley, has a huge year going with over 400 yards. Brady Johnson, their tight end, in the long line of the Johnson brothers, outstanding receiver. John Montgomery, outstanding middle backer. You'll see him a little bit at fullback tonight. Ray Ortiz, another two-way starter at defensive back and running back. And Mariah Shepard, certainly doing a job at linebacker and wide receiver.
Well, we have the table set for you tonight on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Monterey Trail taking on Franklin. Don't wander off too far. When we come back, we'll check in with our pal Rick Stewart for more details on tonight's big matchup. Stay with us.
For students, coaches, and spectators, we thank you for joining us and for your continued support. Please enjoy the game.
Maybe you can make retirement happen.
After all, you made her college years happen.
Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
We are here at Cosumnes Oaks High School for tonight's Monterey Trail versus Franklin matchup. And we're going to have a real solid game tonight, but let's talk about both these teams and their programs. First and foremost, let's talk about the two coaches. We have the coaches' counterparts. First, TJ Ewing from Monterey Trail, his 12th year, his record since 2005, 58 and 68. You can see it there. Only head coach in Monterey Trail's history. One league title, 4-time Coach of the Year for the Mustangs. Now, on the other side of the field, for Franklin, Coach Mike Johnson, in his 12th year, 24th overall, 12th at Franklin, only coach in Franklin's history, has a section championship in 2000. That's with Lincoln of Stockton, and that was over Elk Grove. Reached the playoffs 9 times, Delta Valley League title in 2012, best year in 2012, 12-1. Two quality coaches here. Now let's talk about series history real quick. This is the 8th meeting since 2010 between these two teams. Last year, the Mustangs snapped a 5-game losing streak. It was a thriller, 28-26. We'll talk more about that. Franklin leads the series, but the key part is Mustangs' 2 wins are by a total of 3 points only. 37-36 and 28-26 last year. So this is a series that Franklin has led. Monterey Trail's hungry for a win. Right now, we're going to send it back upstairs to Will and Jim in the press box for tonight's game. Guys, take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Rick. Appreciate that background. And this matchup is of multiple interest and dating back 7 years to the first ever meeting between these two schools, a memorable contest over at Monterey Trail. And we're going to bring you a flashback. October 29th, 2010, in Week 9, the Franklin Wildcats cruised into Monterey Trail with a perfect 8-0 mark against the 5-3 Mustangs and led by a score of 36-31 late in the game. At the 5-yard line, a bad snap from center on the dead run. 44, Michael Worthen, the speedy Mustangs linebacker, takes it in stride and scampers 77 yards for a go-ahead and ultimately a touchdown to put them within 1. They go for 2 at the goal line, and the quarterback, Calvin, sneaks in to give them the lead. Another look now at that big play, Jim.
Let's look at that snap. There's a fumble, a key fumble, and it cost them big time on that long fumble return.
Now another angle on the same big play. You're going to see the snap go through quarterback Derek McIntyre's legs through the wicket, and on the far left, 44, Worthen, good hands on the bend and scoop, and then big time speed convoyed by Bellamy for the 6. And now, of course, they go for 2 with a chance to win it at home with less than a minute to go at the goal line. Mike Calvin, the Mustangs quarterback, has called the play from the sideline, number 21, and you'll notice the line break there, the gap, and he walks in virtually for the 2 points. You see the clock with 1:56 to go, and that ultimately was the difference in that ball game. A 37-36 Monterey Trail victory, snatching victory from Franklin that would have put them at 9-0, and ultimately that was the downfall for the entire season as the Wildcats lost their last 3 games to finish at 8-3. And that is your flashback here on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week from 7 years ago. What a way to finish that game.
It certainly was. Wow, from going potentially 9-0 to 8-3, and then the 2-point play was something else because you always cover those gaps, and the quarterback smartly saw that gaps on both sides, wide open with no linebackers. Will.
And in speaking with Coach TJ Ewing, as we see warm-ups continue on the field there, Monterey Trail in white, and there's the host Wildcats. Coach Ewing said that the Franklin line, defensive line, wasn't quite ready to play. The idea being as soon as that center touches the ball, it's live action and ready to go, and that's what enabled Calvin to step across the goal line without really being challenged.
Well, it looked like he went untouched. I mean, that was a great move. Monterey Trail was ready to play. I think Franklin was still in shock from the fumble. Will, I don't think they recovered from that fumble.
Absolutely in shock. And just to put a capper on that, the outstanding Franklin quarterback Derek McIntyre threw for 4 touchdowns in that game, and the terrific running back Drake Tofey of the Mustangs ran for 4 touchdowns in that game.
Well, we know that Monterey Trail Veer is noted for their running backs and their line get off. They really do, and TJ and his staff do a tremendous job.
Well, there's always key matchups and factors to consider, and the Imperator has put together a full set for tonight's game as we see TJ Ewing and his Mustangs.
Well, let's start with that Mustang defense versus big play Wildcats, and they do have big plays. When Lampley and Ross can break them at any time, they average over 8 yards a carry through the first 5 games. That D will be tested. The Wildcats will probably, you're going to see 8 or 9 in the box. They feel they got to put a lot of people there because the Mustangs run over 80% of the time. And it's this run left, run right, and then, of course, they got a great option quarterback. Running clock. Since both clubs are going to run a lot tonight, expect this game to go by really quick. Time of possession is important. And certainly the Mustangs are known for those long drives. And if they get ahead of you and you try to match up, they can run that clock 5, 6, 7 minutes. Down in distance, forcing Monterey Trail play. Well, what we mean here is simply you've got to occasionally, or as much as you can, put them in 3rd and long and force them to maybe throw the ball instead of run. And so first down football is vital in this contest tonight.
Vital is certainly an accurate description as we see our game referee, Dan Bucky, at the midfield coin toss scenario. And, you know, Jim, at this point in the season, week 6, halfway through league, there is one common opponent that factors into tonight's game.
Well, as you look at here, Sheldon with a relatively easy victory, 35-20 over Monterey Trail in week 4. Last week, Franklin lost a heartbreaker to Sheldon. They had the lead with not much time in that football game, and unfortunately they gave up a key 4th down play which led to the winning touchdown for Sheldon, 28-24. So there's your matchup.
Well, we're anticipating an intense, highly spirited Delta League brawl, you might say, because virtually every week in the Delta is a perilous journey for both teams. One of the finest conferences around, and yes, the standings indicate balance, parity, and strength.
Well, as you look at that Delta standing, it's almost in 3 parts. Part 1, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, Jesuit, Elk Grove, Sheldon. Then you got 2 1-1 ball clubs facing each other tonight. And then you got 0-2, 0-2, 0-2. Obviously, those bottom 3 are in a must-win situation because I doubt if you can win the Delta if you have 3 league losses. So Monterey Trail hook up. They'd like to get victory 2 and certainly not a loss here to 2. Meanwhile, the top 3 in a great position.
Stay with us. Much more to come on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Your teenager, naturally pushing the rules to their limits. When they push too far, call the Boys Town National Hotline at 800-448-3000. Our trained counselors are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide advice and resources for problems big or small.
An outstanding rendition of our Star-Spangled Banner by this terrific Franklin marching band. Well, the officials are going to have their hands full tonight. A major challenge for the NCOA crew assigned for this game, led by Whitecap referee Dan Buckey, and he's working with umpire John Sweetman, Darwin Dotson, the headlinesman, Joel Borden, the line judge, and Bobby Brand, our back judge tonight. Nice to see some familiar faces in the crowd. Robert Sutton, among others. Here as we're just about ready for this evening's kickoff here on Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. And as you see, we have some very, very favorable weather conditions here. 85 is slowly slipping into the upper 70s. Very calm tonight. Not much humidity and as clear as a bell. Ready for kickoff. Franklin to do the booting. And deep to receive for the Mustangs. A quartet of speedy receivers depending on who has it. Lopez, Williams, Budget, and Oliver stationed deep. Isaiah Bobadilla to do the booting. A deep drive toward the near side, bounding in the end zone. Touchback out to the 20. And we can go ahead and Monterey Trail offense led by junior QB Zach Laurier. They run the veer, and Williams, Budget, and Lopez pack the pill very well. Amaro and Hua, the receivers. Interior line, a nice set there, anchored by the outstanding Wayne DeRowan. 1st and 10, football at the 20. Mustangs in possession. Laurier rolls, throws on the run. Incomplete, a sideline route intended for Hua, but well covered, nearly picked.
Yes, that was a surprise, I'm sure.
Well, the defense here, the down 4 for the Wildcats, Huffman, Cocker, Agbuza, and Castile, and also 4 backers. You see Montgomery's going to anchor that group along with Ross, and just the 3 deep secondary based on minimal Mustang passing, and Ortez anchors that trio. So here we go, 2nd and 10. Just underway here at Cosumnes Oaks High School. Left side. So far, 0 for 2 for Laurier. And that play did not entirely look like it was in sync, Coach.
No, they picked up a couple of yards there. And what's shocking is that Monterey Ball Club, which normally runs the football 80% of the time, has thrown 2 passes here in the first 2 downs, Will. Amazing. I don't think the Wildcats expected that with 8 in the box.
Definitely so. Quite a surprise, and I think we'll see more of them tonight. 3rd and 8 from the Mustang 22. A big down for the visiting Mustangs here. He rolls again, looking, chased, in trouble, and shoved out of bounds. Excellent pursuit. So far, 3 apparent pass plays, unproductive in that first series.
Well, we got a 4th and 6, and I'm sure they're going to punt the football deep down in that territory. I mean, I think TJ really surprised everyone in the stadium when he opens up with 3 pass plays.
An unusual formation, trips left and right. And the Laurier boot is going to bound outside the Franklin 40 and trickle out of bounds.
Gary.
34-yard punt. So they take over, Franklin that is, 1st and 10. Good field position coming up for the Wildcats with 10.5 to go. The usual pattern for Monterey Trail's offense is to chew up clock. And with 10:33, they didn't get much of it in that first possession.
Well, surprise, surprise. I mean, that's amazing. Let's see if the Wildcats pull a few surprises here right off the get-go.
1st and 10 from the Wildcat 33. Motion in the backfield. Lampley cuts in and gets a yard, but that's all. Well contained. Got 2 on the play. Well, they're going to give him progress to the 35. So 2nd and 8 upcoming. Lampley, of course, one of the very dangerous threats on this Franklin offense. Ross as well. Turn and fake. Rundgren wants to throw off balance, back foot, incomplete. Heavy pass rush by 3 of the Mustangs. Pressured that throw. So the Wildcats face a 3rd down, and sophomore quarterback Brandon Rundgren will be under the gun tonight. Ross and Lampley, the top runners. Smith, Newton, and the outstanding Brady Johnson, the receiving corps. And you see Tomlinson and Welsh anchor that offensive line. 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. On the run, Rundgren throws, deflected but caught. Breakaway run, and finally dragged down inside the 30 by the Mustangs' secondary pursuit. What a break they got there, and heads up was Nick Newton on that reception.
Oh, he really was. I'll tell you, he had great focus on that ball because that could have been picked or deflected, and he hung right in there, and I like what he did after the run, picking up a lot of yardage there. Moving the ball down to inside that 20, inside the 30. Look, a quick look at Newton's catch and run here. Amazing.
First down for the Cats. We see motion down the line. Turn and give, and it's short yardage running, but inside the 25.
Well,
and let's take a look at the Mustang defense after that run by Montgomery. Sam Williams on the nose, and Derowan anchor that front 4. Also 4 backers, Almonte and Aslan Lopez, Marcus Jones, tough tacklers there, and 3 in the secondary, led by the quarterback at one corner, Zach Laurier. But right now that Mustang defense being challenged. Left side running, a stumble and a tackle.
Well, once again, we've got Lampley only gaining a couple of yards. Initially on that 1st and 10, we saw Big John Montgomery, the bruising linebacker, who's going to probably see a little more action tonight. I'll tell you, he's a load at 5'11", about 225. And you see him now in the backfield here. He'll carry people with him, and he's an outstanding blocker.
From the Monterey Trail 24, a big 3rd down. They chase Rundgren, and he throws for the end zone, a push-off and a deflection. Incomplete.
Well, you're absolutely right. Now, no call. The official was right there, Will, and we saw some offensive hands moving.
Certainly did. Brady Johnson, the intended receiver, and multiple defenders covering that play.
Well, we got a key 4th and long yardage here. Here you see the replay. Rundgren under heavy duress. You see the push off by Johnson, but he was well covered by 3 defenders down there. 4th down key, 4th and 6 here. Obviously, deep in this territory, they're going to go for it.
Rundgren to throw. A lob to the left side. Broken up, but a flag flies.
Well, if anything, I saw offensive. Let's see what we've got here.
The coverage was applied by Brandon Waugh, and we'll wait for the call from our game referee, Dan Bucky.
Holding. On White.
Holding.
The Imperator is in utter disbelief. Let's take a look.
Wow, it must have occurred early in this route.
It'll be a 10-yard penalty.
Undetectable.
Well, we saw hands being used on both sides there, and the back judge decided that holding was too much by that safety. And it puts moves the chains, and it puts Franklin in great field position right in front of the goalpost, and right there on the looks like the ball is sitting on about the 11-yard line, Will.
It certainly is. Franklin fortuitous on that call, and they're in excellent position at the 11-yard line here. Early here in the first with 8:11 to go. Left side running. Scampering in untouched. Lampley with big speed turned the corner and made the flag easily.
Oh, they run that fly left from there, and if you saw that alignment, they had Monterey Trail's defense spread all over the field, Will. And he made that look easy with a simple little handoff sweep, really untouched in the end zone.
So first blood goes to the host Wildcats on top 6-0. And on for the PAT early in this game. Bobadillo, high snap, bobbled, and a botched PAT.
Well,
we're going to take a little break, but stick around as you see Lampley showing big speed to put the Wildcats on top. Stick around.
Your teenager, naturally pushing the rules to their limits. When they push too far, call the Boys Town National Hotline at 800-448-3000. Our trained counselors are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide advice and resources for problems big or small.
Franklin High striking first here in tonight's Delta League battle on Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. And the Bobadilla kickoff blasted again for a touchback. Strong leg there, no return, second time. So again, the Monterey Trail Mustangs open 1st and 10 from their 20. Trailing it here 6-0. We'll see if that pressure on the PAT gives the offense a little boost.
Well, that was reminiscent of the flashback we showed earlier, Will. That cost the ball game. So we'll see where that stacks up. Let's see if Monterey Trail comes back and does what they normally do out of the veer and get back to their base offense.
Under center, Laurier. Inside running, Sam Williams, the fullback. Nice quick opening and a good start on this series. A blast for about 7.
Well, that's what they do. And it was surprising what they did on the first series and forced them to punt. Now, they do what they do. They run the dive and the dive option and the counters, etc. And they got the running backs to do it in Williams and Budget.
So give Williams 8 on the carry, make it 2nd and 2. Twin backs behind Laurier. Again, Williams, and he's close to the first down, but much better defense on that play this time.
Well, they can get 2 or 3 first down, moving the chains. They get 2 or 3 is nothing for them, Will, on that dive. They expect to get 4 to 6. So 2, 3 yards, they can lean forward and get that, because if they have any kind of line surge, which their line really gets off the football.
So consecutive gains by Sam Williams of 8 and 4 generate a first down as Monterey Trail pushes out to the Mustang 32 and some breathing room. Turn and give up the gut. Nice spinning move there. Budget, their top ball carrier, and certainly one to key on tonight, folks. Jahiel Budget, number 14, carries for another 8.
Well, he comes into this contest, Will, averaging 8.7 per carry, 556 yards, 5 touchdowns. So I'm telling you, 8.7 is a great average.
Basically same formation here and same backs behind Laurier. Fumble on the play on a hard hit. Here's a scramble. And the Wildcats believe they have the pill. And they do. Tough luck on the play, but hard hitting by that Franklin defense created the turnover.
Well, we talked about in our pregame. There it is. And he had the yardage, believe me. He goes through, he's got about 6-yard gain. There goes the ball.
So the ball squirts ahead to give Monterey Trail a little bit of an extra cushion there despite losing possession at the 48-yard line of Franklin. That's where the Wildcats will start. Motion by Lampley. Not this time.
That's a great tackle. I mean, he low-bridged him. 42 with that great hit.
Marcus Jones just unloaded on Ross. No gain, 2nd and 10. Double wide receivers, left and right. Single back is Ross. Left side, quick strike. And the quick hit on first down. And it's Brady Johnson with the catch.
And moving it, Marcus Johnson, yes. Marcus Jones with that great hit before. And once again, Brady Johnson, who's caught 16 coming into this contest tonight. He can play tight or he can play wide. Outstanding receiver, coach's son. Just an outstanding receiver. He can play wide, tight, really is multi-talented, been around this game a long time, got a great football IQ.
3rd and 1. He wants to throw. Over the middle, got a man on the dead run. What a catch. Touchdown, Franklin, leaking out of the backfield.
Lampley again, my goodness, can he play or what? Everybody thinks he's a great running back. 43-yard, what a great reception. I'll give Rundgren, the young sophomore, put the ball on the money. That was a great throw.
It was, and it was an excellent grab. So quickly, a 12-0 lead generated by Franklin here at home, where the Wildcats are extra tough. Bobadilla on for the PAT. He had a lack of success on his first try because of a bad snap. This one better. And got it at 4:37. Still here in the first. A 13-0 lead by Franklin here at home, and this is the way they added to that original lead. Lampley showing the hands. We'll be right back.
Maybe you can make retirement happen.
After all, you made her college years happen.
Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
The quick striking Franklin Wildcats, a pair of touchdowns here in the first 6 minutes or so. This one taking just 3 plays to go 52 in a little over a minute. Line drive kickoff, bobbled and grabbed. Nice inside running on that kickoff return to get excellent field position out to the 40-yard line for Monterey Trail. And we're going to be forced to certainly credit Victor Oliver on that excellent run back.
Well, it certainly was, and it put him in great field position.
25 yards on the run back. Sets up the Mustangs. They mark it at the 39 where it's 1st and 10. Well, this would be the point in the ball game where this Mustang offense is going to have to generate something.
Well, they still have plenty of time to stay with DeVere and just run the football, Will. There's no time to, not time to panic or nothing. Just run your offense and protect the football.
Turn and give, quick handoff. Oliver the carry for short yardage. We'll give him 3 on the play to the 42. 2nd and 7. An excellent brigade of running backs, as we have talked about, and we'll show you a graphic on that later. But, of course, the dangerous budget, the Williamses,
Oliver, Almonte, yeah, they got a core of runners, Will.
And Lopez as well. Short yardage again, shy of the 45.
Okay, now this time they're in a 3rd and 5, Will. They're not respecting the quarterback after the fake, so don't be surprised if Larrier takes it.
Okay, there's a brigade of running backs that the Mustangs feature, and you can see they've all piled up touchdowns. Budget with the most yardage there and that big average. So here they are, 3rd and 5, and we'll see if they do go upstairs. They may. Laurier boots it and runs out of room. See where they spot that is he went out of bounds.
If they give him a good spot there, I see Monterey Trail going for it.
Looks like they're going to give him a yard, maybe a bit more than that.
I don't think he wants to punt the football.
I don't either.
No. With that ball on, still on his side of the 50, I say he goes for it.
No doubt. So, TJ Ewing and staff roll the dice here. They need the better part of 4 yards. Turn and give.
Short. Good job by the Wildcat D.
Lopez the carry. Nothing doing. He got about half of what they needed. It'll bring up a turnover as the Wildcats hold on downs.
Well, I'm impressive with the front 4. Cocker, Ayigbuza, Castile, and Huffman are doing a great job. They're actually, that Monterey Trail offensive line is known for get-off, and I tell you, they stack that play. When you can hold that veer to a couple of yards, that's a great job by the defense. Give them credit.
Well, certainly head coach Mike Johnson giving kudos to defensive coordinator Jim Rubiales as the Wildcats work on 1st down. Rundgren to throw over the middle, nearly the same play, but overthrown was Brady Johnson, who had to step on the secondary.
He sure did. They're running those vertical routes, Will, and they're really making those they're threatening those safeties with those verticals. And they're running 2 guys up the seam, and they're backing off that secondary. They really are. And once they move Lampley wide, expect him to get the football either on the fly, come back, hand off, or the pass. So find Brent Lampley and you're going to find the ball.
Sophomore quarterback Rundgren, 3 for 6 through the air for 86 yards and a TD that covered 43 yards.
All right, Lampley's in that slot. Look out.
Fake it to Ross. Big pass rush and a sack at the 46. About a 6-yard loss. Maybe we'll see where they spot him.
Brought to you by number 10, Victor Oliver. It'll be a loss of yards for the Wildcats.
So the defense comes up big. 3rd and 16. Another look.
Well, watch that rush here coming up. As you see a fake, and he's going at a lot of heat. Monterey Trail with a lot of penetration. Good job.
They spot the football at the Franklin 46, a key defensive play. Let's see if the Wildcats can overcome it. Rundgren rushed again. Screen pass broken up and nearly picked. Fine defensive effort there. Almonte with the coverage. Andrew Almonte had a older brother that played here a few years ago, and he was an all-leaguer.
Well, I see the Wildcats punting here, but I tell you that it was a great call on the screen, but Almonte stayed at home, and he broke for the ball. It was a great read by Almonte.
So it's a 4th and 16. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Franklin on top 13-0, but the Wildcats have to punt here. The single safety, the excellent Aslan Lopez, drifting and takes it on the far side, slips one tackle, tough running, and he gets across the 25. So fairly average field position upcoming for the Mustangs' third possession.
The Monterey Trail settled down then, and now let's see once again if they can run their offense and run that veer. And we saw Larry on a keeper, but we haven't seen Larrier come up the running lane when he fakes that dive. In other words, a dive option with Larrier keeping it off tackle.
So the Mustangs break their huddle, 1st and 10. Football at the 27. Well-defended run play, and this Franklin D-line has responded beautifully so far.
That's a late flag thrown toward the line like there's a hold. That was a
Sam
late
Williams
flag.
had the cover, had the carry.
Moving back.
Referee Dan Bucky will call the penalty.
Holding. White. First down.
Well, it's at least 2 penalties against Monterey Trail. And the football parked at the 19-yard line. Mustangs will need to make the 37. So on 1st and 18, they deploy 2 wide receivers to the right and have twin backs operating behind Laurier. He wants to roll. He's chased. They read that play like a book, and Laurier running for the sideline tries to make something out of nothing, but outstanding pursuit there.
It was outstanding. He got a block from Budget, which gave him a few more yards, and he got close to back to the line of scrimmage, Will.
Gain of 8. Let's take a look.
Watch Larrier here, reverse pivot. He's rolling out, finds nobody open, keeps it himself. And there he picks up almost back to the original line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and long.
Well, he was being chased hard there by Shepard, number 8. Mariah Shepard. Left side running, Budget turns the corner, speed down the sideline, finally shoved out near midfield, but it's going to be into Franklin territory on a big carry by junior running back Dahil Budget.
Well, that looks like the real Budget there. That's his first long run of the evening, but I'm sure you'll see more. Now watch the action in the backfield here. He fake the handoff, inside handoff, and then give it to the second man through Budget and gets a nice block. A nice running lane on that far side. Showed me good speed.
20 yards on the run. 1st down Mustangs. Trying to crank it up. They're down 13 zip. Turn and give up the gut. Hard, tough running by Victor Oliver. Dropped at the 35. A couple yards shy of a 1st down.
Well, you talk about the number of sharing the load. Certainly, the Monterey Trail's got a number of people sharing that load all right, and Williams does a great job. Oliver comes in. Alamonte's very tough.
We've reached the end of the quarter. Stick around. We're going to come right back to Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. Don't wander off.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
We open second quarter action here at Casumnas Oaks High School out in Elk Grove, where we're covering the Monterey Trail Franklin Delta League battle. In total offense, starting to become a lot more even after being very one-sided in the first quarter. Laurier, turn and give. Oliver cannot bounce it outside, and he's grabbed and bear hugged impressively by Montgomery.
Montgomery and a little help in there with, it looked like with Ortiz as well. But I'll tell you this, you're seeing the true veer now during that last drive. As we look at here, it's great penetration. Watch Montgomery make a great play here. And then he gets a little help with Cardenas, number 40, helping out the big man.
3rd and 3. Left side, quick opener, first down running. That looks more like the veer, and this time Budget has the carry.
Oh, yeah. That sure does. Budget had a burst, and a big burst. A good 4 or 5 yards. A great get off by the left side. Dorowian and Snipes really got off the football. I'll tell you that. It made it easy for Budget to pick up 4 or 5 on that, and this is a typical Monterey Trail drive now. They got to protect the football.
Time-consuming, grinding out yardage. Laurier, turn and give. Sam Williams, fullback with the carry.
Well, Sam picked up an additional 3 or 4 yards after contact. He only had about 1, and he picked up an additional 2 or 3 on there.
We're going to give him 4 on the carry, make it 2nd and 6. Football at the 27. 3 carries for 16 yards for Big Sam as we take a look there at Mike Johnson up along that Franklin sideline. His club on top 13-0, but Monterey Trail on the move. Budget, quick hitter and a spin. He gets inside the 25. A gain of about 3 as we see part of that Monterey Trail staff on the opposite side of the field. That would be, you know who.
Rick Arcuri, their offensive coordinator, has been with Mike forever.
Budget now 4 carries for 34. Rick Arcuri, longtime AD, has been instrumental in boosting this program along with head coach TJ Ewing. Left side run, Oliver. Good push. They crack inside the 20. And they got first down yardage, don't they?
Oh, yes, definitely first down yardage. And you see that there's TJ, the head coach, and he said, this is what we're about. This is Mustang football. And nothing fancy. Yeah, we're just coming at you.
First down on that last carry. Football parked. We got referee Bucky coming over to the near sideline. Clarification on some point, I won't even guess.
It's difficult.
Well, they'll get that sorted out, but meantime, we're enjoying a beautiful evening out here in Elk Grove, and hope you're enjoying our live telecast this evening. Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week, and it's starting to become more interesting as Monterey Trail drives the field, trying to reduce that lead by half.
Well, like I said, now you've made them respect the run once again, rather than just come out throwing with no respect of the run. They're respecting that run now, and they keep dive, and setting up the quarterback keeper.
Laurier. The quick hit does not fool Franklin's D-line. And again, Oliver really getting a workout. So it remains second and virtually 10. They're going to give him half a yard as we take a look at this defensive stop.
Yeah, the Wildcats are all over him. Credit that front Wildcat, Castile Huffman. Buza, Cocker really got off and penetrated.
Laurier under center, twin backs, turn and pitch. Budget draws 8 defenders and dropped after a short gain. It's going to bring up third and about 5.
Well, I'm impressed with the Wildcat pursuit on that play. He pitched the football off that option, and I'll tell you what, you saw those people here protecting that sideline, and great job defending the perimeter. So credit the Wildcats for staying at home on that pitch, and then good team pursuit to the football.
5 carries for 36 yards for Budget. They didn't give him much on that. It's going to bring up third and 7. Laurier rolls. He's going to want to throw. Steps away from one man, jukes another, bounces outside, dragged down. Relentless pursuit by the Franklin defenders, but individual acrobatics by Laurier, very impressive.
Well, it was, and it's still not enough. They're not getting any blocking on the perimeter. It's forcing him to throw and run around. He's getting heavy pressure on that outside. So now we're in a fourth and about a long 5, and you're seeing TJ take a timeout, Will.
Timeout, Mustangs.
We'll be right back, so stay with us. Lots more to come.
I would like to take this opportunity to wish somebody very special to me out there in the crowd a very happy birthday. I'd like to wish my very pops a happy
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Big play coming up for Monterey Trail after the timeout. 4th and a long 4. He wants to roll. Heavy pressure. He scrambles away and dragged down. Terrific defense. Certainly one of the key factors why Franklin is 4-1 and could have been 5-0, but the ball goes over. In the total offense department, things tightened up dramatically in the yardage stats, but not on the scoreboard. Let's take a look.
Let's look at this. And, it appears like TJ is getting some good run blocking out of his line, but when it comes to pass protection, it's a whole different ball game.
So Franklin shutting down that drive that fizzles outside the Wildcat 10 at the 7:07 mark. We near midway second, and I do believe that is an orange moon. We can clearly see over the far grandstand. Meantime, first down. Lampley spins ahead. Gets to about the 17-yard line.
Number 4, Jalen Lampley.
Gain of 4.
Brought down by number 28, Arturo.
Let's have another look at Lampley. He's getting a lot of action here tonight. Here's a handoff, and here he cuts back inside, spins, picks up about 4, not quite.
Okay, so second down upcoming. Rundgren intercepted and dropped.
Wow. Number 12, a great dude. Boy, he was right there in that secondary coming up. Haiwa, the outside linebacker, Hua. Brandon Hua with a near pick. He dropped it.
That would have been a 6-roo, I think.
Well, I'd say he had a good shot for the end zone, but key down again for the Wildcats, and let's see if the Mustangs can hold again.
Big play here. Rundgren fires out to the right side. Intercepted in the secondary by Budget. Down the sideline. Big speed. Cut back to the goal line. Touchdown Mustangs. Approximately a 35-yard interception return. And I'll tell you, Jahile Budget now has 4 picks in 6 games.
Well, I'll tell you something. He threw in the coverage, and I'm not taking anything away with a great run back. Jahile Budget showed why he's not only a good offensive player, but boy, he went to the ball. If you watch that again, that ball was thrown into where there was 3 defenders, and Budget was just sitting there like the receiver. He looked like the primary receiver, really.
Well, reading coverages comes, with experience, and sophomore Rundgren probably learned something on that play. They go for 2, try to smack it, and cannot get in. A goal line stand on the 2-point conversion try, and that generally is bread and butter for Monterey Trail.
Normally, that's right. They have a high percentage of getting those 2s, but they did score and broke the ice. And we got ourselves a good football game here at 13-6. But boy, extra points. Look at this Budget. Look at this great move. He's just taking it in stride. And boy, those offensive people didn't look good in their tackling skills.
That was closer to a 40-yard return after the pick. So, have I missed something? The scoreboard has not registered any scoring here for Monterey Trail. Did they not get in? First down, Franklin. They run it right up the gut.
Well, the only thing I can see, I'm not seeing any mechanics, is they did not get in, and there must have been a fumble in the end zone.
Well, let's assume that that's the case. At 13-0, we'll call it a fumble on the follow-up to the Budget interception. I stand corrected. And Franklin on the move. Nice low tackle there. A chop on Lampley.
That's why you see the ball on the 20-yard line in 1st and 10 Wildcats, because they recovered the fumble in the end zone, making it a touchback and Wildcat ball. But there was such a crowd and traffic on that, Will, very difficult as he went into the line to see the football.
I'm not sure we got real clear mechanics on that situation.
As mentioned, I said I was looking for mechanics, saw none on the officials.
Rundgren, play fake, short completion over the middle. Tackled by Laurier. Brady Johnson with the tackle. Well, let's take another look. Maybe we can see something that we missed earlier.
There it is. And the quarterback sneak into the end zone. Laurier fumbled the football, recovered by the Wildcats. Apparently, our interception man Budget did not get in. But we had officials give the
official
touchdown
down
signal.
here, the linesman called for a TD. Meantime, another run play and some hard tackling out there. Well, I'll tell you, Ross and Lampley are earning their keep. That time, Ross.
Well, they've carried them through the season. They've carried them the last 2 years. Both of them are veteran running backs who can both play defense. Lampley is an outstanding athlete, and I see where he can be recruited to play multiple positions. He's an outstanding receiver.
So 2 fumbles have set up on the run. Quick hit to Lampley. Very difficult to stop, fighting for yardage, and pushes ahead for an extra 3.
Well, we got a 3rd and short coming.
Okay, let's take a look at this replay.
Here's Budget, and we're going to see his knee preceded the ball crossing the plane.
However, this linesman on the near side signaled touchdown.
Well, he was wrong in so doing, because watch the knee precede. He was wrong. Look, watch the knee before the ball breaks the plane. The knee. Great camera work. The knee preceded the ball breaking the plane.
So a penalty on the play. It was on a 3rd and 2 for Franklin. Second quarter slipping away with just 3:19 left. Another penalty against Monterey Trail. It results in a 1st down. So the penalties have really stung the Mustangs. Timeout taken by Franklin. We'll step back for a quick 30. Don't wander off.
Timeout.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
Okay, they talk it over. It's 1st and 10 at the Franklin 49-yard line, 3:14 to go. Quick hit, right side, a catch. Nicely done. And again, Nick Newton with the grab.
Nicholas Newton. Number 4 on the tackle. 24 on the tackle. Gabe Russ.
Okay, another look. Rundgren fires out to the right side. Newton with the grab. And he's able to go ahead for about another 5 before Budget and others drop him. Here's a toss, left side, sharp cut.
Hand off to number 4, Jalen Lampley. It'll be about a 4-yard gain on the play.
Okay, I'm back on.
42, Marcus Jones.
All right, the football parked at the 31. Clock rolling with 2:20 to go here. Late second, 13-0, Franklin on top, trying to beat the buzzer and add to that total before the intermission.
Well, they caught a break there with their second fumble recovery.
Rundgren, high strike, hauled in. Look at that push.
Look at the effort.
Well, Newton has been the main receiver tonight.
Well, he is. He's very impressive, very strong after the catch. I'll tell you, you better wrap up on him. Watch Rundgren go quickly to Newton, right on the sideline. He's got very little room to work with, but watch the strength he's carrying here. They're trying to strip him of the ball, but by God, give Newton credit. He's protecting the football and carrying people.
Well, he dragged Lopez and Budget, but a flag is going to fly to stop this play.
Penalty mark on the field.
Thus far, the only penalties tonight have been issued against Monterey Trail, a handful of them.
Well, again, they've had 2 fumbles, Will, and penalties against them. and really they could very
Dead
well be
ball.
in this ball game.
Encroachment on the offense.
I believe that's the first penalty against the Wildcats. It's going to cost them 5.
Well, once again, Monterey Trail is down 13, Will, but you know they showed this second quarter that they can move the football. And all they got to do is protect the football.
They certainly did on that last drive that came up short. They expired 6:41, going 69 yards in 14 plays, only to come up empty. So here we go with 1:29, 1:28, clock rolling, late second. Franklin trying to get into the end zone one more time. Turn and fake, Rundgren to throw. At the goal line, touchdown Wildcats. How about that?
Well,
and Brady Johnson.
Boy, I'll tell you, he's got strong hands. He wanted more than that safety. If you see that play again, I'll tell you, he extends those hands and gets separation, Will. He gets separation. He just is like a good rebounder that knows how to use his body.
He's been their top receiver all season long as they attempt the PAT, and it's on the button. Let's take a look.
Rundgren back to pass, got good protection, puts it right there. Look at that outstanding effort by Mike. He really used his body, extends those hands.
Brady.
Brady, just outstanding possession receiver.
What a catch that was, and what a catch it is for Franklin High.
Brady Johnson, look at that. 5 games, 16 receptions, 284 coming in, 17.8 per average catch. And you see him tonight, and once again, truly one of the area's top receivers.
No question about it. And demonstrating once again on the sideline there, following his outstanding touchdown reception, boosting the Wildcat lead now to 20-0. 9 plays, 64 yards in a minute 42. That's getting it done.
Well, you see him sitting side by side, Lampley and Johnson, 2 fine football players.
The kickoff at the goal line. Lopez breaks a tackle and gets outside. Down the sideline, being chased by 3 defenders and shoved out, crossing midfield.
That's a great.
Aslan Lopez.
What a run back. Outstanding run back.
Well, Coach T.J. Ewing considers him perhaps their best all-around football player with a tremendous skill set.
Well, you can understand why. Number 30 with a great run back, yards after contact, wouldn't give up. 55-yard return, putting him on the 45. Still a chance to score.
Left side running. Budget slips 2 tackles and falls forward to the 40.
Well, he's not thinking that way. He's trying to get all the yards he can, Will, but he'd have been better off getting out of bounds.
Time is tight. Clock running with 45 seconds. 6 carries for 41.
There's you give the budget on the sweep, following his blocking, inside, outside, and picks up about 7.
Boy, he made Milliken grab 2 handfuls of air on that play.
Well, if you see that play here again, quite frankly, every time Laria rolls out, he's got pressure coming from that backside.
So we have a fallen Wildcat being helped off the field with the clock stoppage at 33 seconds. And hope that's going to be nothing serious.
Penalty is against the Wildcats. Defensive encroachment.
Now watch budget on this cut, and you'll see the defender, number 3, Milliken, try to grab for him.
Forget it.
Laurier wants to throw. Deep right sideline, overthrown. Penalty flag comes out. He was going for Lopez on the play. Milliken, number 3, one of the 2 defenders, and I believe someone grabbed a shirt tail. We'll see what Dan Bucky has to say.
Let's see if he has holding.
Holding. Defense.
Against the Wildcats.
Just as the Imperator said it would be.
Be a 10-yard penalty.
Okay, another look.
All right, let's go. See, Larrier's not getting any protection here. He's got constantly people in his face. And there you see that a little bit of grabbing the jersey from behind. They've got to protect Larrier because he's under heavy pressure every time he rolls.
First down after the penalty. Short drop, he throws out to Lopez, turns and goes upfield. Dropped near the sideline.
Well, he wisely got out of bounds, Will. Wisely gets out of bounds over there.
So Jordan shoved him out. I believe Jordan had the deeper coverage on the previous play on the throw to Lopez.
20 seconds left in a half.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1, 20 seconds to go. Let's see if they go for the end zone a couple times. Short drop, looking left. 2 receivers out there in between both of them. Lopez, one of them.
They both were well covered. You know, you're asking Larrier to throw, even though it's going to only be a 10, 12-yard pass route, he has to throw the ball 35 yards to the far sideline to complete that football, Will. That's not an easy throw. Well covered. I think that they've got to attack the short side one-on-one.
TJ Ewing of Monterey Trail issuing instructions. 0 for 3 through the air now for Laurier. Turn and give, budget, spins away, almost to the end zone, tripped up on a TD saving tackle.
They've got to call the time, stop the clock.
And they do with 8.8.
A save tackle by number 44, John Montgomery III.
Watch Budget twist out of here. Get off me. And head for the end zone, and a great saving tackle in there. Yeah.
A 12-yard carry for Budget. Timeout taken by Monterey Trail. They want to be sure they have things fully understood. They need to get into the end zone trailing 20 zip.
Well, they have to. They cannot come away with nothing here. And looking at the timeout schedule, it appears, if the scoreboard is correct, he still has timeouts remaining.
Budget this evening, 7 carries for 53. He's averaging 7.6. Not quite his seasonal average, but it's early yet.
Well, it appears to me that Budget and Williams can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. And to me, you don't need much time to get the ball to a running back out of the backfield.
From the left hash mark, inside the 5. Call it the 3. Mustangs do have timeouts remaining. Laurier keeps it and gets dragged down. What a defensive play by Daniel Ross.
The pitch was wide open. Oh my goodness. The pitch was open.
I wonder what TJ Ewing thinks about that.
Larrier made no attempt. The perimeter cover man contained him, and he did not pitch the football.
Should have been 6.
He had a blocker out there and a pitch back.
Well, timeout on the field. We did say that they had timeouts remaining and still do.
Timeout.
3.7 left. They better get in this time, or it better be a quick developing play to call another timeout.
Oh. My goodness.
Okay, well, they come up to the line possibly now or never in this half. Boy, that was a quick chat. One of the coaches scampering off the field. Here they go. Laurier Longer call this time. Oh, half the distance on a defensive jump maybe, huh?
Well, that puts it down probably on a 1.5. Now, will they run that veer instead of throwing here?
Penalty will be against the Wildcats.
Will they run the veer or a short toss, he says.
You know, I'd say that Budget would have a strong, or Williams. I like Williams. I like his yards after the carry, and I like Oliver's yards after carry. I really do.
Here we go. At the goal line.
Larry made it look easy. Huh?
Touchdown Mustangs. And I
Who
had to
was
look to see if 2 of them signaled it, just to be sure. Yes, it is an agreement out there. Touchdown Monterey Trail. And Williams, as you said, as you called, Imperator, in for 6.
Well, I like his yards after, contact. I really do.
So they're on for the upcoming point after touchdown. Taya Beatles on to do the booting. She's only missed 1 all year.
Encroachment again, my goodness.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, second down.
Little over eager.
Would they bring the Veer boys back in? No, he's kicking.
So the 2-yard run caps an 8-play drive covering 45. Line drive kick. No, it's got it. She got it. Wow, that crept over the crossbar. As we take a look at the TD, Big Sam getting in.
That will be the end of the first half.
Well, we have played 1 half here. Don't go away now, because Rick Stewart will be interviewing our coaches during the intermission. But that was a badly needed touchdown, as you see there, chopping into a 20-point deficit, finally to get on the board on essentially the last play of the half. 20-7. Okay, Rick Stewart, what you got?
All right, Coach, first half, you used Lampley both as a running back, as a wide receiver. Preference one or the other?
No, because he's an athlete. I'm giving the ball to the athlete.
Okay, early in the game, you had the line play advantage, but Monterey Trail came back. Was there anything they were doing or you were doing different?
No, I'm upset because we play near perfect football until we have 1 minute left, and we have completely lost all the momentum because we can't come down here and make a defensive stand with 1 minute left. So it's not going to be a happy rah-rah. I don't care with that. We were up 20-7. I'm not happy right now.
What's the one thing you're going to have to do in the second half?
We need to keep the ball in our hands offensively. And that's what they like to do. I think we can do the same thing. We need to come down and score right away, get our offense going again, and give our defense some good field position.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll send it right back up to you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Stewart. And Mike Johnson, certainly not one to mince words. Very candid there with his disapproval, and I wouldn't want to be in that locker room at the half.
Well, no. But, he did get help on that fumble early in there, so he could be only ahead by 1,
You're right. Well, we're going to back off, take a break. We're at the half here. Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week hosts Franklin on top of visiting Monterey Trail.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
I was kind of just asking her, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen.
After all, you made her college years happen.
Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back. It's halftime. There's the score. Franklin leading Monterey Trail 20-7 at the halftime. I'm here with Brian Kilby, the athletic director. Activities director. And head baseball coach. A lot to talk about, Brian. Campus is great this week, isn't it?
Oh, campus is awesome. It's always awesome. We half jokingly, but half serious, say that Franklin High School is the second happiest place on earth. Close second, though, behind Disneyland. But there's always something going on, and we have awesome kids, a fantastic staff, and an administrative team that lets us do all kinds of fun activities on campus. So it's a blast.
Now, I see you got a pin here, and there is a lot of pink out here. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, we have a Pretty in Pink Club on campus, and so they raise money for breast cancer awareness and participate in all the breast cancer awareness walks across the Northern California. So they're here tonight, and they're selling all kinds of T-shirts and pins and bracelets and all kinds of great stuff to raise money for breast cancer awareness, and so find a cure. So, yeah, it's awesome.
Outstanding. And we missed homecoming. How did that go?
Homecoming was phenomenal. It was a blast. Our team won. The kids had a great time. We had about 1,500 students at the dance, so it was a packed house. Wow. But, no, homecoming was great.
Now, you're also a head baseball coach, too, and we don't want to get into too much of, Mike Cody's area here, but, baseball is coming up here. World Series time now. Got to be getting the juices flowing, huh?
Oh, this is the best time of the year, right? You got NFL football, you got playoff baseball, basketball's getting going. There's all kind of college football, you name it. So, no, it's a good time to be an avid sports fan. But, no, I'm going for the Astros after what Houston's gone through in the last month and a half. I'm hoping that they're going to win. Plus, Max Stassi from Yuba City High School is a friend of mine, and he was with them, so I want him to get a World Series ring. So.
Well, we always want the local guys to do well.
That's right. I'm a Giants fan, so they're not in it, so I'm going for the Astros, but really anybody but the Dodgers, right?
Well, that's always been, my favorite teams, the Giants and whoever plays the Dodgers. Hope I'm not going to get too much flack for that, but probably so. And let's face it, the Astros had to move to the American League to win a title, so whatever it takes, right?
That's right. No knock on the Dodgers. They have a great ball club, and if they ended up winning it, good for them.
Well, and I second the comment. It's all baseball and it's all that, and it's all good-natured too. So I've got a lot of Dodger fans that would probably throw bottles at me or whatever it took, something like that. Campus spirit, having to play, share the field. I mean, how big of a difficulty is that?
It's not too difficult. It's all we know, so we don't know any different. We started off at Cosumnes River College. Cosumnes Oaks opened up. We came over here, but it's all we know. So we're kind of just embracing it, and we're here 5 times a year for football, and if we're lucky to get a home playoff game another time, and then we do powder puff here, and that's about it. But the kids love it.
Outstanding. And the time of year, crowd size may not be what you want, but it's still a very active crowd.
Oh, the crowd's great. This is probably one of our smaller crowds for the year. We had a minimum day today for finals. Kids are tired. They're exhausted. They're getting ready, gearing up for the term 2. And then tomorrow there's an SAT. Our campus climate is very, very academic. So we have a number of students who are staying home preparing for the SAT tomorrow too. But there's still a great crowd, and there's a great buzz, good energy on camp at the stadium tonight. So.
Well, that's cool. The SAT. I was able to spell SAT, so I passed that test.
You did. You got at least 10 points, right?
Well, I think I got 5 for my name and 5 for SAT.
There you go.
Brian, thanks for spending some time with me and tonight. And we really appreciate the courtesy and the support you guys give us when we come out.
Oh, you bet. You guys always do a great job, and we love having you guys here. So thank you.
All right. right, thanks, Brian. All right, it is halftime, 20-7. Franklin in the lead over Monterey Trail. We'll be right back after this break. There's the score, 20-7. Franklin in the lead at halftime. Mike Cody, athletic director here at Franklin, and Wildcat Pride. I mean, I see that around the stadium. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Wildcat Pride is a new program we're doing on our campus this year, and we're really excited. Athletics and activities are joining in. It's something we're trying to get our students to buy into and taking pride in everything they do on our campus, and it's been a great start to our school year. That's why you see Brian Kilby and I wearing our shirts tonight at the game.
Well, there you go. And it's nice that you can cover up somebody else's banner and have it say Wildcat there, too.
Exactly, yeah. Not our stadium, but tonight we're making it in our stadium, so it's a great night.
It does say Wildcat Stadium here, so that's what we're calling it tonight. Tell me about soccer and the other fall sports.
So fall sports are doing great. Our golf team's doing well. Our volleyball team's doing well. Water polo, cross country. We're really busy in the fall. We're getting excited for winter sports, which is right around the corner. We got winter soccer again, so it's going to be kind of cold and miserable, but we're going to get through it. But we're excited about what's going on in the winter seasons. Jesse Formaker is back coaching on our program. He was our boys coach for 9 years, and now he's taken over our girls program. So we can let Mike Johnson have a few months off. Mike's been doing football and girls basketball the last 3 years. So Jesse's going to take that over, and we're excited about our coaching staff and our athletes, and we're looking forward to a great winter season.
Well, that's tremendous to have Coach Formaker back. I mean, that's an astounding story there in and of itself that could be covered at another time. It's tremendous that the athletic presence that you have on the field, you know, and the athletes across the program are just solid athletes.
They are. We have great athletes, both on the field and in the classroom, which is awesome. And all the sports we have, and our coaches are doing a great job, and our athletes are just committed. No matter what the sport is, it's a year-round deal, and they're committed in the off-season to get better. And we're seeing the results of it tonight in our football program, for example. And so it's really fun to be the athletic director at Franklin High School. It's a great job, and it's really fun to just to be a Wildcat. So.
Outstanding. Well, thanks for spending a couple of minutes with me, Mike. I really appreciate it, and thanks for everything you guys do to help us, smooth it out for us.
Yeah, well, we love having you guys here. We're excited to have you here tonight. Can't wait to have you here in 3 weeks for the Elk Grove game, and we'll have you access Sacramento here anytime you guys want to come. So
outstanding.
All right,
outstanding. Thanks, Mike. All right, there's our score, 20-7 at halftime. Franklin in the lead over Monterey Trail. We'll be right back. Will?
$20-7, our halftime score. Clubs coming back onto the field prior to the second half kickoff. We'll be right back.
Wildcat Marching Band.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
Welcome back to the show. We're at Cosumnes Oaks High School tonight for a Delta League battle. Host Franklin on top right now at the intermission, 27 over visiting Monterey Trail. This is Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. And we can now take a look at first half stats that started out being very lopsided, Jim, but evened out to some measure.
Well, it is. It was very lopsided in the first quarter, but you look at this now, it's coming alive. Wildcats are still out front 120, but look at the Monterey Trail Mustangs, why they're coming back in this football game. First downs, really, the Wildcats still ahead of the Mustangs. Penalties are hurting the Mustangs, and fumbles. If you say, hey, what's the difference in this game, I'd say a lot of it can be attested to those two fumbles as well as the penalties that have hurt TJ's ball club. And I think they've got to protect, if they're going to throw the football, throw quick and protect Larier.
Well, you mentioned it all half long. He's getting no pass protection. Perhaps the single most important play, damaging for Monterey Trail, the goal line fumble, or it would be 3 touchdowns to 2. So I'm quite sure that was a point of interest and focus during the intermission, and we heard how discontent Mike Johnson was, even with a 20-7 lead at the half. So I guess both teams probably got scolded a little bit at the intermission.
Well, without a doubt, yeah. Well, Mike really got off to a great start. He opened it wide open and hitting Lampley a couple of times and passing with no pressure. And then all of a sudden, the second quarter started to change. I mean, they suddenly didn't do anything, punted a couple of times, get the ball in Monterey Trail's hands, and they were fortunate to come away with this big 2-touchdown lead here at halftime, really. I can see why he's not a happy camper.
Well, we're ready for the second half kickoff. Monterey Trail to do the booting. It's a high pooch to the far side, inside the 30, and they're coming to the near side. Slipping tackles left and right.
We have a big attack.
I have no idea what that was. Are we still on? Yeah, some kid just oh, really? Well, looks like excellent field position upcoming for Franklin here. 42-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. So the sophomore QB, Rundgren, a productive first half. Big hole, look out. Here's a sprint right down the middle. Ross untouched. 58 yards in a flash.
Well, I'll tell you, he goes north-south in a hurry. What a break, I'll tell you. Whatever Coach Johnson said at halftime, I'll tell you, they opened up a huge hole, and what a burst by Ross. I mean, he left those safeties, Will, like they were standing still.
He left those safeties like Dotson left those Grant safeties last year.
You got that right. That reminded me a bit of that one.
26-7. And on for the PAT. He's been busy tonight. Bobadilla.
Maybe we can see that burst again because it looked like a huge hole. Watch this handoff. Ross goes through the line untouched. No one has laid a hand on him, whether it be linemen, linebackers, or safeties.
We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
So there you are. It's flu season, and you're over 65 like me. You might be forgetting something serious. Your annual flu shot. The flu can be life-threatening, especially if you have chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, which can worsen with the flu. The immune system weakens with age. Ask about a flu vaccine option made specifically for us. Visit ncoa.org/flu to learn more and talk to your doctor about vaccine options for people 65 and older.
Bobadilla ready to kick off for Franklin. A shocking 58-yard burst by Ross has now put them up by 20. Kickoff short, outside the 10. Budget turns the corner and turns on the speed. Right sideline, a bullet. Finally gang tackled somewhere near the 45-yard line.
Well,
14 on the return.
I am impressed with Jahil Budget. Number 14 comes into this football game with 556 yards, 5 touchdowns, but the most impressive is his kickoff returns. He's nonstop. He's got great balance. He spins, and he's got deception in his speed. Quite frankly, he never gives up.
Now, he is not just a speedster. He's got moves, and he can power up. Just a junior from the 47-yard line. Good field position for the Mustangs. Laurier. Turn and give. And a quick reacting defense drops Oliver after a gain of 3. Second and 7.
Well, he looked like he was going to get 5, but I'll give credit to that D, Will. You're absolutely right. They closed fast on him.
We're just underway here in the third quarter. Nice to have you with us this evening. It's a beautiful evening in Elk Grove and a big-time bright moon high above. Second and 7. Laurier, turn, give, Budget. 5 tacklers have a grasp on him. He's shy of the first at the 46-yard line.
Well, once again, TJ sticking with his base offense, and you know he's going to come at you, run dive, and maybe a counter off the dive, and then all of a sudden comes the option, dive option, and the pitch, and next thing you know, he's faking that option and throwing the ball downfield.
3rd and 3, clock rolling at the 10:15, early here in the third. Turn and give. Oliver barrels ahead before being shoved back at about the 43.
He's about a foot or two short, Will, but I tell you this, TJ is not going to punt the football.
No, he's not. And a foot is pretty accurate in Pirator. 4th and a foot.
It'll bring up 4th down for the Mustangs.
Oliver has given their running game a boost.
No, well, yeah, they just come at you and at you and at you. And I mean, once again, is Williams in the game?
That last stop issued by Montgomery. 4th and a foot. Turn and give, big room. Look out, who's got the speed on the dead run? Oliver dragged down near the 5.
Wow.
Now that is Veer.
That's the Veer offense that we're used to seeing at Monterey Trail. What a burst there. Great second effort. Watch Oliver burst through, keeps his feet moving, and there he is. He split the safeties, and they catch him catching him game-saving, play-saving tackle.
39 yards on that burst. Setting up the Mustangs inside the 5, deep. A fumble! And Franklin comes up with it. 2 goal line fumbles by Zach Laurier. The exchange was not there. Tough luck for the Mustangs. And we'll credit Ogbuza with the recovery, number 48, nose tackle. So from the 4-yard line, 1st and 10 for Franklin. And whistles are going to blow this play dead.
Okay, let's take a look at that previous play. There's the exchange. He put it in his near hip. He never had possession of the football.
And Oliver really wasn't looking for the handoff. Another look.
Well, look at this.
Miscommunication.
Wow.
Another look.
Let's look at this. Oh, my
Oliver
goodness.
wasn't looking for it.
Repeat first down.
I really can't blame Laurier, but he'll probably be credited or discredited with that fumble.
Well, to me, it was the handoff and the back not really alert. I mean, there you are on the 1-yard line. I mean, you know you're getting the football. There's no doubt about it.
Rundgren in the end zone, hands off, big room, but closes quickly. Nice reaction to shut that down. Lampley looked like he was going to have some big daylight. I should say Ross with the carry. And nice closure after the opening.
Antonio Williams on the tackle. Second down for the Wildcats.
Well, I'll tell you,
Second and 4.
Coach Johnson is right. Ross runs straight ahead. He goes vertical on you, runs with power.
Second down and about 5. Mix up on that handoff, going nowhere.
Number 47 on the tackle.
Tough D applied there by Spearman.
Jermaine Spearman. Number 7, Daniel Ross on the carry.
Well, you know, 3rd down and 3 here, Will.
It'll be 3rd down on 3rd.
Will they go to Lampley or Ross? Really, they should be able to get 3, but, you know, they got such a great possession. I like Newton out there on the stop, and also, really, Brady Johnson will run that stop route on you.
Play action pass over the middle. There's a catch and a big first down. Boy, you know, Brady Johnson is always open.
Well, when you got receivers like Newton and Johnson, boy, you go to them.
They have come up big tonight. Brady Johnson right there is going to come off the field for a bit of a rest. Wide receiver, tight end, defensive back. And, oh, what a catch.
Well, there you see his stats, but I'll tell you what, it's move the chains Johnson. When I tell you, he'll move the chains for you.
He certainly will. Brady Johnson getting a breather, but it's a big first down for Franklin outside the 20. And whistles are going to stop this play.
Well, I think that they got to get their count together. Ross burst through there, and it must be a little bit of illegal procedure.
As you call it, Imperator, a little bit of illegal procedure. Give him a traffic ticket.
5-yard penalty.
So it'll cost the Wildcats 5. Dan Bucky with the call. Roll the clock.
Well,
7:25 and rolling.
Wildcats are spreading out that Monterey trail. Look at, they make them play the entire field, and they're willing to play with you 7 or 8 on 8 right smack in the middle there. They've got you spread out.
From the 15-yard line, 1st and 15. They try to go wide, reverse the field, Lampley. Outside, wide left, and chased down.
There's Lampley. There's Lampley's moves and Lampley's speed.
Run on the play.
Yeah, he ran about 45 yards to get a...
Sure did.
Zach Larrier.
Well, Lampley is quite a player.
He is. Now they got him wide. Watch Lampley here. Nowhere to go. Reverses, comes out of that traffic, reverses his field and gets up there, picking up a first down.
And Sam Williams had him and lost him. Big first down outside the 30.
Nice.
Good gain up the middle and an upending tackle on Ross.
Well, right now, Coach Johnson is giving them a dose of Ross. And have a look at Ross getting off here. They run the motion, and there's Ross. They're playing a little 6 on 6 in the middle here. Well, look at this. They spread you out with double wides on both, twins on both sides, almost spread you out, make you play the field.
Lampley, 44 yards on 8 carries. Antonio Williams with that last stop for the Mustangs.
They'll run the Ross all day.
And a flag comes out from the head linesman, who now will confer with Dan Bucky.
3.
Well, the penalty was not specified. It is against Franklin, apparently. We love good mechanics.
Oh yeah, we have to supply our own mechanics up here tonight. I'll tell you this, Mike Johnson is changing the plays.
Referee Dan Bucky says roll the clock. They do, and we're midway third at the 6-minute mark. Franklin in no apparent hurry to get this play off. Motion down the line, and whistles are going to stop this play.
Well, I guarantee you, they ran motion off that last really run right up the middle with Ross, because when you put Lampley in motion, the whole world goes with him.
Mike Johnson, they are working his last nerve with these penalties, even though he's up 20.
Yeah, well, you can see him on the sidelines. He's not happy about that.
No.
Now, should we try this again?
2nd and 13 after the 5-yard penalty. Clock rolling at 5:25, and now time out Franklin to try to get it together. Well, as you know, we always provide expert rankings week by week, and this week is no exception. Domino's Dozen is the source for area rankings.
Bud looked at this Folsom as usual, #1, and then we're going to keep them there until somebody beats them. Oak Ridge #2 with a big battle tonight. #4 Rockland up in Oak Ridge as we speak. And here comes Sacramento, Granite Bay. Sheldon, a big victory over Franklin last week. Del Oro, Antelope, Del Campo entertaining Cosumnes Oaks tonight. River Valley, Jesuit on the rise. Jesuit visiting at Elk Grove tonight. Key game, Monterey Trail, you're seeing Cosumnes Oaks at Del Campo tonight. Placer, Bear River, Christian Brothers, and Whitney. So Whitney, coming off that loss to Del Campo last week, has got to bounce back to stay in that top 20, Will.
Bounce backs are the order of the day and the week, and it could not apply any more heavily than it does to the Monterey Trail Mustangs, trailing 27-7, and so far coughing up 2 goal line fumbles.
Well, who wanted to be in that huddle on that penalty at that timeout? No one, with Coach Johnson.
Motion, handoff, stuffed. Ross got dropped by Spearman on the play.
That brings the Wildcats right back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down.
3rd and 10.
Well, once again, you'll probably see them go to their big play receivers, Newton, #22, or Brady Johnson. Both of them are outstanding targets. They run great routes, and if Rundgren gets the time, you can expect him to hit either one of them.
He's rushed hard, throws, intercepted on a deflection. Budget again, his 2nd of the game and 5th of the season. How about that? Jahail Budget, and a flag flies late. And a scrap and hot tempers flaring here along that Franklin bench area.
Interception for the Mustangs. Penalty marker on the field.
Yeah, but did you notice how great Monterey Trail sprinted to the sideline and not to get involved with their bench? They sprinted back across the field. which that means they're well disciplined by TJ and his staff.
Okay, Dan Bucky with the call.
Dead ball, personal foul. That's
Personal
black.
foul against the Wildcats.
I believe we'll have a look at that right here, Imperator.
Oh, yeah, there was no question a late hit there. There you see, throwing into the crowd, Budget just sitting there. Oh, the ball deflected.
Antonio Williams with the deflection and Budget with the pilfer. Yep.
Well, we got one Wildcat that didn't want to stop.
No, he didn't. We ought to identify that. And Mike Johnson right in there pulling his players off.
He lost his helmet in the process.
There's the penalty walk-off. It's going to go to the 21-yard line. Another look.
Let's look at this. Rundgren on a rollout. And there he looks like he's trying to go to Brady, but the ball is deflected, as you said, by Williams. And now Budget just sitting right in the right place in the right time. Now, here's where it starts.
Brady Johnson, the first to get there. Oh, I saw what happened there. Back to live action, a run play up the middle.
He just picked him up and threw him.
Yes, it was. That was excessive and uncalled for.
Number 21 on the carry, Sam Williams. Positive yards
Well,
on the play to bring up
they
second
have
down.
committed 3 crucial fumbles, 2 when they were about to score, Will.
3-yard gain on the play.
And quite frankly, again, that's the way football is, but they could be in this game 27-21. They're not out of the game yet. By no means.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the Wildcat 19-yard line. Twin backs behind Laurier. Pitch, Budget. Everybody's after him, and he's hit simultaneously by 3 defenders.
Well, once again, he doesn't read it. It's a predetermined pitch, and I really, I question that, but that's the way they run their offense, and they're good at it. The dive back, even after the fake, had 5-yard gain.
So the football parked at the 20. They get about half a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9. And we'll see what they go for here. Major play. Set to unfold. Laurier to throw. Out to the right side. Incomplete. Lopez, the intended receiver.
He looked to me like wide open, if we could see that. A lowly throw ball, very low, but he looked wide open. Lariat rushed it. Watch this. Lariat to throw. He is open.
He's open and 0 for 4 in the passing department. 4th down and 9. Mustangs need it bad. He's chased. Throws for the end zone. Broken up. Tight coverage.
Well, the big fella, the linebacker covering him, outstanding. John Montgomery goes down the field and covers him like he's a defensive back. Wow. That's a great save.
It was a great save. Brandon Hua, I believe, the intended receiver.
All right, watch this now. Here we go. Larry rolling out. Going deep to the corner. Watch Montgomery. That's great play there. Great defense.
Brandon Hua, the intended receiver, and the breakup. So the drive fizzles, and the Budget interception, his 2nd of the game, does not, in fact, set up a score. .309 to go, late 3rd, 1st and 10, Franklin. A stop and go, tough to bring down, very tough to bring down. Ross has been dynamite.
Well, particularly in the second half. He's running hard. They're kind of wearing down a little bit of the middle of that Monterey Trail D, Will. I know it's only the end of the 3rd quarter coming up, but if you watch inside, Ross is running very tough up between the tackles.
He's going to come off the field. I think he's got a pulled left calf is what he was pointing to.
Okay, but they've got some decent run. Here comes the big fella, well known for his linebackers, but a great compliment to John Montgomery by his coach. Says he runs like Jerome Bettis. That's a pretty good compliment.
I would have to agree with that. What was his nickname?
Jerome, it was the bus.
Thank you.
The Pittsburgh Steeler bus.
Well, time on the field. We'll step back for 30 and encourage you to stay with us. More to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
What about my privacy?
It's protected.
And the music I listen to. Protected.
What about how I wear my hair? And the things I say and write?
The Constitution protects your rights.
It isn't an old, fading piece of paper.
It's a living document.
The Constitution says there are 3 branches of government. So we're kind of like the 4th branch of government.
We are the future of America. Find out how you could become part of Constitution Day.
For me.
For all. For real.
Constitution Day is every day.
.216 left here late in the third, and Franklin High in total command on top 27-7. Right side running, bottled up and stuffed. Montgomery with the carry.
Number 44, John Montgomery the third. Positive yards on the play.
Well, this run game has been so impressive tonight.
42, Marcus Jones from the Mustangs.
The Cats combo, a 1-2 punch that's as good as any. Lampley and Ross can wheel and deal, and you've seen it from both of them tonight. They are among the section's best.
Dynamic duo.
High throw, hauled in. What a reception.
Well, it looked like
to number 22.
Again, Newton comes up big.
Resulting to a Wildcats first down.
I do not believe I have any receptions credited to Newton coming into this game, and I think he's got 4 or 5 tonight.
Well, he had 4 for 43 coming in, but I'll tell you, he's picked up double that tonight, at least 4. Watch Newton here. Goes up for the football, very athletic, and I guarantee you he's got 3 or 4 catches at least tonight, so that'll boost him up a little bit. You can readily say, hey, you know, only 4 in 5 games. Wow, where have they been hiding him?
Left side running, short yardage, time-consuming yardage.
No gain on the play. Ball handed off to number 4, Jalen
Lampley.
Well, I don't think Coach Johnson wants, quite frankly, another pick. He's thrown 2 picks tonight. He doesn't like it. And so we're going to see more running the football. And with this kind of lead in some clock management here, maybe he's just going to say, hey, we'll stay on the ground and move the clock.
With 4 receptions coming into the game, Newton has already topped that. 5 catches for 86, including a touchdown.
Well, quite an impressive night.
Motion. Lampley was in motion. Montgomery blasted down. What a hard fall that was. He landed on his head and may have tweaked his neck.
John Montgomery the third on the run.
Wowee.
Number 23 on the tackle,
Antonio Williams. And he's coming out. That was a hard shot.
Yes, it
and
was.
Look at
Well,
the
he
fall.
was hard.
Look at the fall.
Oh, look at the power on this guy.
The third quarter.
Wow.
Mustangs 7.
We played 3 here at Casumnes Oaks. Monterey Trail down 27-7 to Franklin. We'll be right back. Oh, that is right. I believe Rick Stewart has something new for us, Rick.
All right, Matt Mackey here, the band director here at Franklin. Tremendous sound with the band.
Thank you.
How many in the band, and how long have you been doing this?
We have 110 in the band, and I've been at Franklin for 14 years.
All right, are we involved in band competition type things as well?
Yes, we're just now starting our competition season. In fact, next weekend, we're hosting one of our own competitions here in Elk Grove. We have over 30 schools coming to Franklin High School next Saturday, And then we'll be here Saturday night. We have 11 schools here for a field show competition.
Wow, outstanding, outstanding. Now, these people in the band, how often do they go on to other schools and continue their musical education, as it were?
Quite a few of them do.
Okay.
A lot of them get music scholarships and pursue music either as a major or a minor and continue all the way through.
Outstanding. Matt, thanks for taking a minute to stand with us and talk with us. It's great sound.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Matt. All right, guys, we'll send it back up to you. Will, Jim?
Okay, Rick, thank you very much. As the fourth quarter opens, Franklin in full control, and they're looking at, well, let's see, we've got something going on down on the line of scrimmage. I won't even speculate. But it was wonderful driving out here to Elk Grove again this evening and to Cosumnes Oaks. You know, we passed a number of sites and got into the south area and past the orphanage, and here we are with another great game.
Well, you know, we don't, you know, they had a lot more orphanages in the old days, it seems, than you see today. There are not too many around, but we want to stay on top of things.
Hit in the backfield and shoved back. One of the few times Franklin's run game has been contained. And Sam Williams leading that charge. In total offense, prior to that play, Franklin really rolling it up. 35 plays, 298 yards to Monterey Trail's 170 on 37. 8.7 average for Franklin, 4.6 for Monterey Trail. Significant difference.
Well, the Wildcats are mixing it up pretty good, and here they are in the punt formation, but really, the Mustangs today have moved the ball from 20 to 20, but unfortunately, they've had bad luck in the red zone tonight, and that's probably an understatement.
Horrid, disastrous luck, not just in the red zone, deep in the red zone. Horrid luck at the goal line. High snap, fumbled. They went for it. They faked, they put punt formation, but ran it and lost it. But if they recovered, they probably have a first down. Let's see where they unpile them.
No, I think they're short. I'd say they're a shade about a foot short.
Turnover and downs, Mustang ball.
Okay, they come up short. But the ball popped up in the air quite clearly. And
okay, well, here's the Mustangs with a short field to drive. Let's see what they can do. I mean, here's the ball on the 42-yard line, and they have an opportunity with a short field to put one on, and then who knows from there. But I can tell you this is a great advantage if they can protect the football tonight, and that was one of our keys into this football game, and we've seen at least 5 turnovers to my knowledge unofficially.
Yes. So evidently our officiating crew is going to administer a yard measurement here after a preliminary signal otherwise. As the Imperator clearly stated. Are those actual mechanics or?
Well, we could have placed the ball for him and told him how short it was from our angle, Will, didn't we?
I do not understand the point of contention at all.
Well, I don't know. I guess one of the coaches asked for measurements, so they have to honor it.
Okay, first down for the Mustangs. 10:48 to go. They need to make up 3 touchdowns fast. From the Franklin 42. He wants to pass. Laurier is overthrowing Lopez.
Okay. You've got a 2-man route, 1-on-1 on the far side, Will. 3-on-1 on this side. 4 defenders, 2 receivers.
I have no explanation and can apply no logic to that.
Well, I want to see Budget or Williams come out of the backfield. How about you?
I do. Laurier's back into the huddle after a quick conference at the sideline. Let's see what they can come up with. He's had a tough night.
John, wide now. Wider, John. Right there.
He's rushed hard, unloads it. Wow. A phenomenal effort by Budget. What a fall after that catch.
Yes, and if he gets the ball to him right, Budget has a one-on-one over there with an opportunity to break a tackle and go to the distance, Will.
Gain of 4.
He makes a great catch out of that ball, really. That ball really is poorly thrown. Once again, he's under heavy duress. He's been under pressure all night.
Hey, stay back, stay ready.
He throws out here to the right side and misses Lopez on a crossing route.
Aslan Lopez.
3rd
That'll
and 6.
Down for the Mustangs.
Laurier entered the game with just a 45% accuracy mark. Tonight, 1 for 8 for 4 yards.
And 1 touchdown and 1 pick coming in here as well with that.
On 4th down, a big rush. He gets away, throws on the run, has the man wide open. It's a grab. Lopez slips a tackle and shoved out near the 5.
That's a great move by Lopez. You know, they've got people who can do something with the football if you can get it to them. You know, they do. They have some. Yeah, let's look at that. Lopez, nice catch. Laurier escapes the pocket, gets the ball to Lopez, who's wide open here. He breaks a tackle, and then almost goes in.
32 yards on that hookup for a 1st down. The clock stopping with 9:49. And the football at the 7. Boom! My goodness gracious.
Well, I'll tell you something. He was a recipient of a necktie.
Stop by number 8.
Well,
Lopez is wondering what fell on him.
My goodness.
There's TJ Ewing, and another look at that blast.
Low. They get tremendous pressure from the outside in.
Well, I'll tell you, that was Shepard going high on Lopez.
Mariah Shepard, I'll tell you.
2nd and goal. Budget.
Well, I'll tell you, I like the way he veered off that. He took that dive handoff and veered off, and they're once again, they're very close. 3rd down and goal, Will.
From the 3.
Here's where the ball handling has really got to come in. Watch this move by Budget. He bounces it out, picks up an additional couple of yards on that play.
Ross with the tackle. Budget now 97 yards on 11 carries and 2 interceptions on defense. Lopez tries to smack it, and he's right at the goal line. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Finally, we've got a score, and you know, I'll tell you, give them credit. That line got off the football, and I like Budget's aggressiveness, yards after, he won't give up.
Budget
like it.
And Lopez working hard here, so Mustangs back on the board, and they can only wonder about those 2 goal line opportunities that slipped through their fingers. So Beagles on for the PAT out of the hold of Laurier, but we'll have to wait.
Well, I thought that, my correction, I thought that Budget had it, but that was Lopez slipping in there for a nice 3-yard gain and a touchdown.
Dan Bucky apparently restoring order. Spotted, booted, blocked.
Extra point is blocked by the Wildcats. 6, Ryan Cortez.
So the score remains 27-13 after the block PAT, but the Mustangs are back on the board, and we'll take another look at Lopez.
Lopez hits, he's carrying people in the air, breaks the plane. I really like it. Aslan Lopez. I can understand why Coach raved about him as one of his top players, Will, didn't he?
He did. He considers Lopez among his top players, perhaps his top player, and with a skill set that's over the top.
Well, I like it. He's a two-way starter. He runs hard. He plays hard every snap. I like it.
So the scoring drive covers 42 yards on 6 plays, consuming 319, and capped off by the Lopez 3-yard TD.
Touchdown for the Mustangs was brought to you by number 30, Aslan Lopez.
Well, things have tightened up a bit, but now the time itself is the big issue.
They've got to be real careful here. If they could put the ball in the end zone, Will, I would not onside yet. I'm going to tell you why. You give them too good a field position.
I was going to say they're going to onside. It doesn't surprise me that they did. The clock was probably the deciding factor to influence that call.
Well, you give the Wildcats a short field here.
8:29 to go, and it is a short field as the Wildcats will start from the Franklin 48.
8-yard line, 1st and 10.
Now it's up to the Mustang defense to get an immediate stop. Out of the gun, turn and give. Wow, whoa! Our cameraman just got floored. Dallin Swinson is our MVP tonight, and Lampley just put it on him.
Wow.
I hope he is okay. That had to be an awesome close-up.
Wow.
Dallin Swinson, a Purple Heart.
For the team.
There you see him up along that sideline. I hope he is, because that was a straight-up head-on blast. What a warrior. Indicative of the entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week crew. First down for the Wildcats. Turn and give. This time Ross gets into the secondary before he's popped hard, but a big gain. Antonio Williams, I should say, has made some real shots on his tackles tonight.
Well, once again, like I said there, let's take another look at that. And you see Ross running hard inside. He bounces it outside. He protects that football, running real hard. Gets pretty good hit there by that safety coming across his body.
Laurier wrapped him up, and Williams finished him.
Well, once again, the Wildcats, if they score here, they can, again, put this game away. And they don't have to be in a big hurry. The clock is moving.
On first down, they sweep. Lampley outside, dragged down by Oliver.
Well, give credit to a great stalk block by Brady Johnson back there. I'm telling you, he held his block a long time to make that sweep work. And if you see that again, I'll tell you, Lampley coming around on that fly sweep, and you'll see number 21, Brady Johnson, stalk blocking like a good wide receiver.
There he is.
I'll tell you, he could do it all. I'm very, very impressed with him. Have been well coached, been around the game, and he can do it. He's a coach's dream.
Well, we got a timeout on the field with 7:20 to go as we near midway fourth, and we'll step back for a quick 30. Don't go away.
Facing life's difficulties takes strength and determination. Whether it's physical challenges or struggles you can't see, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it. Learn how other veterans have reached out and hear their stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
A replay here on that last sweep. Lampley getting outside and tracked down there by Sam Williams and Oliver.
And he's up.
Lampley was down for quite a while. Beautiful evening here in Elk Grove. We're at Cosumnes Oaks High School for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. Right now, Franklin has the football, but the primary concern is Jalen Lampley coming off to the near sideline by one of the trainers to be attended to, and we will update you as we gain further information. (27-13). There you see sophomore quarterback Brandon Rundgren up the gut running, and I imagine Franklin will consume time with more of a run game. So Montgomery with the carry.
Positive yards on the game, on the run. They bring up third down for the Wildcats. Number 10 on the tackle, Victor Oliver.
Clock rolling with 6:35 to go as we near midway fourth. Third and 5 for the Wildcats. Right side running, boom. Wow, a jarring tackle and a fumble pops out.
I think he was down, Will. I think they're going to, hit the ground prior to that.
Andrew Almonte. Hand off to number 6, Ryan Ortez. They bring up fourth down for the Wildcats.
Clock still rolling at 5:40 here, late fourth. He wants to throw. Rundgren, right corner. A flag comes out and the reception is made. Okay, let's wait till we sift this out. Dan Bucky may have an announcement on the penalty.
I think we got a defensive. Let's see here. Hear it.
A touchdown on the reception. The penalty declined. Newton with another touchdown reception tonight. What an evening he is having.
Big time, as you mentioned. He came in here with 4 catches, and now he has 6 for over 100.
And 2 TDs tonight. So they line up for the PAT, 33-13. Kick is good, and we'll be right back for more of Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week.
My journey skating for the gold taught me a lot, but my journey with breast cancer has been one of my greatest teachers.
Every woman's breast cancer is unique. Be Wiser educates and empowers women to take control of their breast cancer treatment plan and help navigate their own path beyond 5 years.
Talk to your doctor about information and tests to personalize a treatment plan that fits your needs. I did. Be informed, be wiser, support survivors like us.
Franklin High is set to kick off following sophomore quarterback Brandon Rundgren's third touchdown pass of the evening. The entire drive covers 52 yards in just 6 plays, capped off with that TD throw to Newton, his second TD reception of the night. 3:03 for the duration. Another booming kickoff. They've had excellent kickoffs tonight, reaching the end zone a few times, that time to the goal line. Budget coming out and comes to the near side, runs out of real estate near the 30.
Well, he just runs with ease, doesn't he? He makes it look easy.
He certainly does. Very graceful.
Well, I'll tell you, it's pretty tough picking that MVP of that Wildcat outfit tonight. We got so many stars out there tonight, don't we, Will?
We do indeed. So the Mustangs come up to the line of scrimmage on first down, trailing at 34-13. Just 5:17 left, but the Mustangs, I know, will try to make a game of this. Never say die type attitude under T.J. Ewing. And an official's timeout has been called. First down. Short drop, throw right. A grab and a reception by Amaro, who's hit twice out of bounds. So they get 6 on the play, make it 2nd and 4. Working now from the 35-yard line. Motion shown by Lopez down the line. And his pass is picked off after a deflection. What a defensive play.
Could that be Shepard, because he's been in their backfield all night? We'll find out here.
That was really something. He leaped high to get the deflection and then was able to recover enough to grab the ball out of the air for the interception.
Clarity with a great play. Outstanding. Linebacker comes up big.
Number 33.
Number 33 for the Wildcats. Demarion Clarity. Young junior, 6'1", 205, and I'll tell you what, he got up high for that one.
Another turnover for the Mustangs. Too many of them tonight in order to have a victory. So we get a short yardage carry on the play. And with the carry that time.
It looks like they are
Milliken
giving Nico Regino a shot here.
So Mike Johnson getting a lot of new players into the football game at the 4-minute mark here and a comfortable lead.
Nico Regino was a starting quarterback last year when we covered them, Will.
Up the middle, a quick hitter.
Want to remind you at the conclusion of tonight's game, Rick Stewart will be interviewing our players of the game and our winning coach. So you won't want to miss that in our post-game segment. We have filled out our customary ballot, and though there was some discussion, I think we made some great selections. Motion shown in that Wildcat backfield. Regino hands off. Almonte with the tackle on the quick opener. Ross with the carry.
Well, Ross has been busy. I'll tell you, he runs hard between the tackles. Now, Lampley keeps you honest on the perimeter with great moves as well as speed. And I'll tell you, Ross moves the chains inside from tackle to tackle.
He does. And in certain areas of town, the slogan, Ross is the boss, is prominent.
Definitely fits him. I'll tell you, he runs hard inside.
First down after that carry by Daniel Ross. That one was so good. Let's do it again. Ross to the 10.
Well, that time, again, I like Lampley wide and Ross down the middle.
For the Mustangs.
Clock rolling with 2:18.
Well, it looks like Dan Milliken is getting a little action. As you mentioned, Coach Johnson is putting some people in there, and rightfully so, with this comfortable 34-13 deficit with 1:59 on the clock, Will.
And threatening for more. Regino, the backup QB, running the show. The dive gets inside the 10, but they were waiting for it. Sam Williams with the first hit on Ross.
Well, right now, it appears, again, they're going to continue to run the football, and if Coach Mike Johnson doesn't get a touchdown here, he's not worried about it. He's just going to run the clock out. And
for the Wildcats, 3rd and goal. A minute, 20 seconds left in regulation.
He's using max time between plays.
A toss. Milliken cut down.
That's a nice tackle in the open field.
Marcus Jones.
Very nice open field tackling. As the clock winding down, like I said, he's using max time between plays and showing some real sportsmanship toward Coach TJ and his staff.
Less than a minute, clock rolling at 45. I imagine they're receiving some unofficial instructions just to have the score and situation remain where it is right now.
Well, if they get another play, if they do, I think you're going to see the knee go down.
Well, they're taking all the time here. Might even get hit with a penalty. So they do penalize Franklin 5, and that is, as you say, a large measure of respect Coach Johnson showing to Coach Ewing.
Very definitely. He's bringing his troops in. He's taking a timeout, and he'll probably take a knee on this one, and that's it.
We're going to step back and take a 30-second timeout. Stay with us.
My journey skating for the gold taught me a lot, but my journey with breast cancer has been one of my greatest teachers.
Every woman's breast cancer is unique. Be Wiser educates and empowers women to take control of their breast cancer treatment plan and help navigate their own path beyond 5 years.
Talk to your doctor about information and tests to personalize a treatment plan that fits your needs. I did. Be informed, be wiser, support survivors like us.
And as the Imperator had previously stated, they take a knee on the following play, and certainly Franklin showing the ultimate sportsmanship. Still 21 seconds left. Enough for Monterey Trail to run a play. What's the call, Coach?
Well, I'll be surprised if he throws the football, quite frankly, because he doesn't want to throw a pick here, so I just see them running the football.
I think they should try for an 85-yard touchdown pass. Okay. Laurier back to throw. Left side, he's got a hook up and dancing out of bounds. With the reception, Amaro. First down, Mustangs.
Well, I'm sure Coach Arcuri will come back and throw another one and get out of bounds and move the chains one more time. And they're backed off the D. They're playing that, relaxed lead, prevent defense, and they'll give you a nickel a dime.
Stop and go. Need the big one.
The safeties are 30 yards deep.
Short drop, fire left, incomplete. Amaro, the intended receiver, and rough stoppage applied by Elijah Curdance. Football parked at the 29-yard line, 11 seconds left. This one is in the bag, almost in the book. Everybody packed in tight on this one. A fumble, and boy, oh boy. And the examination is over.
Well, Larry has had his problems with that ball handling and the center snap tonight.
An impressive 34-13 victory by host Franklin. They improved to 5-1 under head coach Mike Johnson, and a tough loss in a mistake-filled performance by TJ Ewing's Monterey Trail Mustangs, who now slipped to 3-3. Good sportsmanship on the field after a hard-fought game. We saw a number of big plays and big hits, indicative of Delta League competition. Don't wander off. Our post-game segment is coming up next. Rick Stewart will be chatting with our players of the game, so stick around and find out who they are. We'll be right back.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Your teenager, naturally pushing the rules to their limits,
When they push too far, call the Boys Town National Hotline at 800-448-3000. Our trained counselors are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide advice and resources for problems big or small.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening in Elk Grove, where tonight at Cosumnes Oaks High School, the number 8 ranked Franklin Wildcats under head coach Mike Johnson come up big at home in a key Delta League matchup with crosstown rival Monterey Trail. Despite some dissatisfaction in the first half, Coach Johnson's team put up some major numbers and played very well when they had to, very impressively. And certainly, if we were to speak with Coach Ewing of Monterey Trail, there would be a number of areas that he would point to for reasons, not excuses, regarding his team's subpar performance tonight. But what can you say about these Wildcats?
Well, it's not only the scoreboard, but when you look at the stats of 369 rushing and 185 passing, over 500 yards of total offense, and to 234. And a pretty even though the runs double the passing, they really do. They have some outstanding receivers. And young sophomore Rundgren showed some flashes here tonight. But they can hurt you inside, outside with speed, etc. And then via the air. They're very balanced attack. So here they are with their second Delta victory, going 2-1 now. So they're right in the heat of the battle. Unfortunately, Monterey Trail slips down, takes a loss, and now becomes a 1-2 ball club. And with this tough Delta, when you look at that Sheldon, Elk Grove, Jesuit type of thing, why, there's no easy ones. There is a lower third that's not doing quite as well. And we have some matches going on as we speak. But quite frankly, the Wildcats are right in the hunt, and they certainly have showed that they bounced off that tough loss of last week with a convincing win here tonight.
They certainly did, and they keyed very well on Monterey Trail's top weapons, but no one really knows for sure how this game would have tipped had those goal line opportunities inside the 5 turned out as they normally would for a Monterey Trail offense that thrives on goal line.
Well, it certainly was. Will, the turnovers were monumental, and when you get 4 turnovers, but 2 inside the 3-yard line, when you're in one, I think, was from the 1-yard line, and you're going in for a score with first down on the 1. Now, I could tell you those are hurt. It's tough to come back mentally when you didn't cash in. You came away with nothing. It's just like being at the bank in a long line, and when you get to the front finally to close the door.
Tough way for Monterey Trail to absorb this loss. However, the best performance tonight was turned in by Mike Johnson's Wildcats. Despite a couple of shaky plays that drew his ire, I think, they brought pretty much their A game for the majority of tonight's action. And if we look at some stats here as we're awaiting Rick Stewart to gather our post-game guests, the Franklin rushing attack was dynamite with their 1-2 punch, Ross and Lampley. And through the air, sophomore quarterback Brandon Rundgren, he did throw 2 picks. One was deflected, but he connected for 3 touchdowns to their excellent wide receivers, one of them going to Brady Johnson. 185 yards through the air. Newton, 6 grabs out of virtually nowhere, and Johnson complimented him very nicely. Each of them, Johnson 1 TD grab, Newton with 2.
Well, both those are big targets. Both Newton and Johnson. They're outstanding. They go up for the football. They run great routes. And what I like is they're very aggressive to the ball. They use their body well, and those are two of the top receivers. We knew about Johnson coming in.
Okay,
But I'll tell you, Newton showed us a lot here. They have two of the better receivers in the city.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
I agree with that,
Coach
Coach.
is heading this way, and
I guess Rick will take it from here, huh?
He's gonna.
Yeah, I think it'll be nice to have a visual final totals tonight compiled by our executive statistician, Gary Martin.
Well, there you have it for your viewers. As you see, the rushing yards are fairly close, and you expect those kind of yards or more from the Mustangs because that's what they do, but there's this huge disparity in the passing yards right here, and that hurts the Mustangs, and you see a balanced attack in the final total offense here, and the first down's fairly equal. Penalties more in the favor there, but I'll let you talk about these turnovers, which were huge in this game, Will.
Oh, very decisive, and certainly on the short end, demoralizing for Monterey Trail, and certainly uplifting for the Franklin defense that had their players in the right spot at the right time to make those key recoveries. So certainly a major category there in the turnover department. Well, I think we had some excellent choices tonight for our players of the game, and the Monterey Trail outstanding junior back, Jahail Budget, Budgett, had some scintillating plays showing off both speed, agility, and power, but that tandem of Lampley and Ross were just dynamite tonight again. Rick Stewart is standing by with our players of the game.
Early part of the game, the offensive line play that you guys had going for you wasn't real good. In the late part of the first quarter and early second quarter, you guys stood up for it. What was the change there?
Everybody just focusing on doing their job. We got to learn to be more consistent, and we'll be fine from here on out.
Okay, in the second half, the game kind of got away from you. I mean, it wasn't a horrible score, but it got away from you. What was the key there?
We just got to do our jobs, because when we're inconsistent, things just start to get away from us, and things start rolling down the hill, and we just got to learn to focus in those times.
All right. Well, good luck the rest of the season. Congratulations on being our player of the game. All right, good job. All right, we're going to turn here to Daniel Ross. Daniel, tremendous long burst. What was the key on that play?
They were lining up slow, and Coach told me just hit the hole, and that's what I had to do.
Looked like you guys had really good balance on offense, passing and rushing. Was any key to that? Was that a plan coming in to try and balance?
We knew their DBs would play off. We knew they would line up slow, so we knew we could do it either running the ball or through the air.
Any preference? I mean, obviously running backs, you'd rather carry the rock all the time.
I like to run the ball. We have a strong run game.
Outstanding. Well, congratulations on being one of our players of the game today. All right, good job. Good luck to Cersei. Young man, we saw each other before the game. You had a big smile on your face, said you'd talk to me later.
Yes.
Premonition? Just you knew you were going to go out and do it.
Yes, I knew I was going to go out and fight hard. I had a feeling before the game that I was going to go out and perform well. So that's why I said that to you. I was pretty confident in myself.
Confidence is a good thing, especially in a game like this. Now, the rushing attack, again, it was a balanced rushing attack, passing attack. What was the key there to try and balance that out?
Well, once we start going on the ground, they started coming up, and we'll just hit them over the top. So it's just simple. We told them to pick and choose what they wanted to do, and if they chose to come up, we chose to go over the top.
Outstanding. Now, late in the game, you took a shot. You were down for a while. What's the answer there?
Oh, I'm fine. Just a little bruise on the knee, just ice and ibuprofen. I'll be fine.
Sounds good. I wish mine was that way. Good luck the rest of the season, okay? Good luck tonight. All right. Thanks. All right, Coach. Any words that are, stunning? I mean, this was a good, solid overall game. Second half was much better.
Yeah, my first thought is this: I'm glad I'm retiring, and not because of the kids. At times, this was a horse and pony show, and a lot of coaches don't say it, but I say whatever I think. Our refereeing I don't even understand it anymore. It's turned into something completely different, and that was literally a horse and pony show. And if it was a close game, it would have affected the game. These guys have to be better. So I'm upset at that because it affects good play, and we played really well tonight. We were very balanced on offense. I thought our defense did a great job. They were disciplined. You have to be disciplined against Trail. But I loved our balance on offense. I thought our young quarterback threw well. This was our best night by far catching the ball. I thought Nick Newton and Brady Johnson, fabulous hands tonight. They caught everything that came near them. Huge win to get number 5.
That's outstanding. Now, the defense stepped up in the second half as well and played tremendously. I mean, obviously a touchdown in each half, but they still looked like they made the stops when they needed to.
Well, I mean, it helped, too, that Trail was giving us the ball. But in this kind of a ball control veer offense, and we talked to our kids about it, if you could beat them to the punch at the mesh point, the ball's going to go flopping all over the place. And we made that a big concentration defensively this week.
Coach, congratulations on the victory tonight.
Great.
Thanks for spending some time with us.
Yep, thank you.
All right, thanks, Mike. All right, guys, we'll send it back upstairs to you. There's final score there. Looking solid, Coach.
All right, Rick Stewart, thank you very much. Certainly a contrast in emotion from the halftime interview to the postgame. Mike Johnson clearly feeling much better about things right now.
Well, if I were him, I would reiterate those very same words. Certainly his ball club came out to play in the third quarter, and he wasn't satisfied with the first half performance. Let him know about it at half. They made their adjustments. They played much harder. They were a complete football team, well-balanced. And then he gave some credit, and I'm going to give more credit to his young sophomore quarterback,
Thank you,
who I think came of age tonight in Game 6. And he showed he can play. And I think from this point on, he's going to get better and better because you could see his self-confidence picking up as he went along. And to go with that backfield with that dynamic duo of Ross and Lampley, and now you have young Brandon coming of age, and with the receivers that they have in Johnson and Newton, I'll tell you, they get separation, they protect the football, and I think they're a definite threat to win this football league. And one by one, I'm sure Coach is going to say that, but week in, week out in this Delta, but I see them as a potential threat to win this league.
Absolutely, a threat to any other Delta League contender, and the Delta is full of contenders. But in tonight's performance, I agree with you. Rundgren did come of age. I'm surprised we didn't have any questions of that nature in our postgame, but the fact is the sophomore, despite throwing 2 picks, one was deflected, he connected on 3 scoring passes, and he did settle down. He did show more poise, and he didn't let the turnovers rattle him.
No, he didn't. That's the sign of growing up and maturing taking place. And he's a young 15, 16, whatever he may be. But I can tell you this, he's going to get better. He knows he's going to get good coaching here with Mike and Johnson and his staff. And I just foresee the nice balance that they have with that run game. They got a guy that runs tough up the middle. They got a guy, Lampley, who's a threat as a receiver and running wide. And now you put that together, and another receiver that showed that they're more than just Brady Johnson, and Brady is good. Now he's got a complimentary guy with him, Nick Newton, and they both are very good receivers.
And they certainly demonstrated that tonight, and the majority of their collective catches were way above average catches. They weren't routine jobs at all, but we would be remiss in not letting our audience know that next week, another doozy upcoming, another Delta League destination, as the Jesuit High Marauders are going to go into South Sacramento and tangle with Joe Catolico's Sheldon Huskies. You won't want to miss that brawl. Friday the 13th, 7 p.m., usual channel for us. Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. The Delta League is another gauntlet. And tonight, Monterey Trail found that out. A tough road game, and it spelled out to be a tough road loss for the Mustangs. However, TJ Ewing, will regroup his ball club and get them ready for next week.
Oh, you can count on it. He and Rick Arcuri and their staffs, respective staffs, will put this thing together and put this one away, learn from it, and move on. And don't count them out. If anything, they own it. It's 2 losses, but they're not out of this thing mathematically. And I look for them, if they can get their passing game in place. This is important because everybody in the whole world is going to put 8 or more in the box and say, hey, if we can stop the run, if we can stop them from utilizing that clock management, we have a chance to beat them because they haven't shown that they can throw the football. So I'm sure they will work on that.
Well, that is the way it plays out tonight here in Elk Grove at Cosumnes Oaks High School as the number 8 Franklin Wildcats top 15th rated Monterey Trail by a final count of 34-13. Access Sacramento and the Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew wish to extend their appreciation to the Franklin High School administration, particularly Athletic Director Mike Cody, for their cooperation and assistance with the broadcast arrangements for this television sports production. The Hometown Sports Game of the Week is a special sports presentation of Access Sacramento in association with Play-by-Play Sports Productions. For Jim Domino, Rick Stewart, Game Director Ronicia Harris, and our Executive Statistician Gary Martin, I'm Will James. We thank you for tuning in, and Dallin Swinson makes the honorable mention list. Our final score tonight, 34-13. Franklin tops Monterey Trail. I'm Will James. Thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.
Something on that play. And cannot get in.
Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento 916-456 extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission.